Hello everybody, this is Nate. I'm going to bring you another video today, and this one is going to be a little bit different. I am not going to focus a lot on individual plays. It's a longer game. You'll see as we go through, it's about 45 minutes long, and I am playing Maokai. I do not play particularly well. I just started playing top again. I've been support for quite a while, but I've been frustrated with not being able to influence games as much as I'd like. So I'm playing top. So what I'm going to do is focus more on a theme. We had talked a couple of videos ago about the different ways to win the game. How do you win the game? Well, you kill towers. How do you kill towers? Well, generally you do that by killing champions. However, what you can also do sometimes is split pushing, essentially. We talked a little bit about that a couple videos ago, but this video I feel will demonstrate both the strengths and weaknesses of that strategy. So I'm just kind of going to be playing at 90 or 2 times speed for most of the game, because again, I want this to be about the theme of split pushing. So what is a split push? Well, for starters, I should have backed off here, because that was silly. I know they have an Eve, and by the time she shows up, it's way too late. So that was silly. So I want to focus a lot on this champion here. This is Nasus. Nasus is the quintessential split pusher. All he wants to do is farm minions and push lane. Farm minions, push lane. Farm minions, push lane. Once he's all done pushing, he pushes a little bit. Once he's all done farming, he farms a little bit. And then he goes back to farming, split pushing. His passive basically gets bonus lifesteal, so regen, so he can stay in lane longer. His ultimate gets him bonus health, a little bit of armor and magic resistance, and he deals AoE around him as magic damage. It's very strong. His E, his Spirit Fire, which you'll see him using quite a bit, is again another AoE, and it's a damage over time, so it kind of ticks down. He's gone a bit of an unusual build, but not illogical, just you don't see it often as Adoran's Ring, and we'll see how that helps going forward. And his W is a Wither, which is one of the best slows in the game. It's a 5-second duration, so it's very long, and it slows movement speed by 35% and increasing to over half, so it actually increases over the duration. But his Q is the most interesting thing, and that is, oh, that's me, I'm sorry, and that is Siphoning Strike. So okay, what does it do? This next attack will deal damage. Cool. The second part is the most important bit. It permanently gains damage if it kills an enemy. Okay. There are not very many abilities like this in the game. Most abilities scale off of attack damage or AP. Some scale off health. One or two, I'm thinking of Galio, scale off of MR. A few, like Rammus, scale off of armor. But there's very few that have completely open-ended scaling like this. What this means is there will not be a damage cap on this ability during this game. Every other champion in game, besides I think Vigar, will eventually stop getting more powerful. Every other champion, and it's again I overextend and do silly things. Every other champion except Vigar will eventually reach a kind of peak threshold. Eventually, they will stop getting stronger. Nasus will not do that. He will, as long as he's killing things, he will always do more damage the next time. Always. And that's super powerful as you see this game go on. So I'm going to kick it back up again. Just derping around. I'm building towards a Rod of Ages. Got a ways to go. Our Syndra's doing okay. Lee's doing okay so far. Their Eve is doing really well, and you'll actually see her do quite well this game. She'll be an integral part in helping their Nasus get big. The reason that the passive of this is so huge is that it kind of perfectly exemplifies the idea of waiting for late game. In other words, there is no point in the game at which Nasus will peak. He will always get stronger. So regardless of the time frame of the game, regardless of the items people have, he will always be getting stronger at every point in the game. So the longer the game goes, the stronger and stronger and stronger he gets. At 6 items, he's going to keep getting stronger. So you couple that with his sustain, couple that with his ultimate, which gives him health and some more damage, and you have a very strong split pushing package. And we'll see just how strong he becomes. So, what do you want to do as a split pusher? You want to push where your team is not. If your team is mid, you go top or bottom. If your team is bottom, you go mid or top. Generally, split pushers will go along top. Generally, they'll kind of be along this kind of outer edge of the map. Our team can focus on Baron, team can focus on Dragon, can focus on mid and bottom, and generally you just kind of let them do their own thing. So, Nasus has 2 assists, even in farm, but keep an eye on the Siphoning Strike. Right now it does 50, plus 90, plus 57. So we'll keep an eye on that number as we go along. So right now, at this point in the game, he's got plus 60 damage on his Siphoning Strike. And this is at, 10 minutes in the game. So he's doing pretty well. But we'll keep an eye on that. So again, watch. He's going to kill it. And now the damage increased. Now it's at 63. Again, those little bits of changes are incremental, but they are eternal. As Nasus would say, so is the cycle of life and death. So we'll see that. So again, split push wants to push, in this case, top lane. So he's just going to push, farm, get more and more powerful, Now I am playing Maokai. Maokai is not a damage champion. He's a soak. He's a sponge. He also has good defense ability because of his ultimate, which we'll see a couple times. His ultimate basically reduces enemy damage in an area around himself. That's pretty cool. I'm actually going to speed it up again because I don't want, going to try something a little bit different. I don't want to focus much attention on individual plays. I want to focus on a theme. The theme is how to split push well and how to fight against a split push and how to do a split push poorly. I teleport into bottom, try to do things, not working terribly well. Nasus jumps in, he's super huge, he's always doing damage. I'm trying to soak up and tank as much as I can, and we just don't have the damage to kill anybody at this point. So they beg off, we let him kick its own, and we kick back Ashe. Ashe dies, that's good. Nasus gets out. So Nasus is still alive, got a kill. Our Syndra is doing well. Twitch. So here we go. I'm going to speed it back up. So Eve gets another kill, and that's important because, again, let's talk about the theme. The theme is split pushing. Split pushing means splitting damage, or split pushing where your team is not. So that means that the other team is going to have a decision. Do we match what the split pusher is doing? Do we send him top, like where Nasus is going? Or do we kind of collapse a 5-on-4? This is a very important decision to make. So the reason that Eve getting strong quickly is very important is, one, she tends to fall off if she doesn't get ahead early, because she's kind of very dependent on surprise attacks coming in from a flank doing damage very quickly. And if she can pick someone off very quickly, then all of a sudden we're down a person. And we're already stretched thin because we're sending at least one person to deal with Nasus. So all of a sudden it's 1v1 in the top lane, and they have 4, we have 3 everywhere else. So it kind of compounds the issue. So we'll see this happen a couple different times. And again, Maokai is designed to soak up damage. He's designed to reduce incoming damage. He's not designed to do damage. And we'll see as this game goes on, and we're already seeing it as I'm falling behind. I can't keep up with his sustain. I can't keep up with his damage, and thus he's pushing me out of lane. He can stay in lane longer, which means he can farm more, which means he can get more damage, which means all his advantages keep stacking up. So I can kind of chip away at him, but you'll see his sustain. His health just stays more or less the same throughout this whole engagement. I can't touch him. So eventually I stop trying. We do get a dragon, which is good, but we're going to focus on the theme of split pushing. So again, the idea of split pushing is you want to stretch their team out and apply constant pressure in one lane. By doing that, you're forcing the enemy team to play in a fashion they're not normally comfortable with. Most teams default to just kind of grouping up and throwing themselves at each other and hoping that works. Sometimes it does, more often than not in lower elo play. And by lower elo, I mean basically anything below, say Master and Challenger. Most teams tend to just kind of run at each other, and the victor takes the spoils. So we managed to kill him. That's good. That exemplifies the second way of dealing with a split push threat, which is you send more than one person to deal with him or her. It could be a Quinn, whatever. The point being is that, especially with someone like Nasus, you need more than one person to deal with him. There is no one person on our team that can kill him. So we're going to have to send more than one person. That means we're going to have less people elsewhere on the map to deal with whatever else they have going on, specifically a fed Eve. Ashe is kind of a non-issue. Yasuo is in this game, I suppose. But yeah, that's that. So one way to deal with a split push is just match it one person. We've shown that this is not working in this scenario. If we had been able to deal damage to Nasus early, to push him out of lane, stop him from farming, we might have been able to do what we needed to do. We have not been able to do that, and so we're kind of left with a couple very bad alternatives. So 1v1 has not worked. We've tried 2v1, that's worked, but as you'll see going on, that will eventually fade off as well. So let's do another time check. At 20 minutes, at 10 minutes he was at 60. At 20 minutes, he's at 171. So let's make a note of that. So that means every time he uses that ability, no, it's at 177. Every time he uses that ability, it does 90 plus 124 plus 177. That's a lot of damage. That's what? 177 plus 124. That's over 300 plus 90. That's, let's call it 400. When he gets a Sheen, which he would get very soon, I believe, it goes up even more. And it's already strong. If it was just that with this low cooldown, it would be excellent. But it's going to get more and more strong. So he's going to get more and more strong. So we can't 1v1. Eventually we won't be able to really 2v1 unless it's like twitching me, which we'll try. So we're going to speed it up again. So again, constant pressure in the top lane. We've seen that me and my team is losing this constant battle. Kills are about even. They're up and go by about 2,000. I can't really touch them in the damage department. And so the 1v1 is failing. Currently, everything else is failing as well. So here we go. So let's take stock. We have a dragon. It's good. It's not amazing. They have no dragons. They have a Nasus who's very strong. They have an Eve who's fed. They're now getting their dragon, which is Infernal, which means they have more AP and more AD, which is super powerful. So here we are. We're at about the halfway point in the game. We haven't killed any one of their turrets. We have killed Nasus once, killed Yasuo 7 times. And let's spend some time talking about the basics of team comps. What do we have? We have a Mao-kinda, strong, soak, decent crowd control, good ultimate for fights. Lee, strong ganker, mobile, not very tanky, decent amount of damage. He's building decent damage. Syndra is actually very strong in this game. She's got a lot of burst, a nice stun if she can land it up. Excellent ultimate. Twitch, very high damage, very low health. Good for team fights if you can protect him. And we'll see, particularly the very last team fight, you'll see the strength of a Twitch just getting to free fire. So we'll keep that in mind. And we have Nami. Nami is very squishy. Good heals, good kind of like almost like a line AoE ultimate, where you'll see it. It's a big long tidal wave. I very much enjoy Nami. She's fun to play. So what does our team do? Our team doesn't really have a lot of initiation besides me. If I can run in and snare somebody, if I can stop them from moving, then that's good. If we can get Nami to tidal wave them and keep them all set in one spot, then that's good. If Syndra can land a stun, that's good. But we don't have something like a Malphite. We don't have something like an Amumu or a Sejuani or an Ashe ultimate to kind of set things up. So we kind of have to either wait for them to engage and then collapse, or wait for these a little bit clunky initiations. What do they have? They have a very strong pusher, split pusher. I would say the strongest split pusher in game, especially as the game drags on. And you'll see how much damage he can do these towers. So auto attack, Q, auto attack, Q. You just chunk it out. And yeah, he's going to flash away. So what are we trying now? We're trying to send 3 people after him. We've tried 1, we've tried 2, now we're trying 3. So, yeah, the strategies are theoretically evolving. This is a bit of a derpy play. I should have just focused. We should have focused on any one person, but we got split up. A very bad habit you can get into is letting a kill go away because you just think your team will take care of it. It's better to overcommit to a kill. I wouldn't say overcommit. It's better to commit to a kill fully. Guarantee that it happens than to let it go to waste. It's better to kill Steel as a support than to lose a kill. Now, of course, it's better to have the ADC carry get the kill than the support get the kill. But if you had to choose between the support getting it and the kill just not happening, then you take the support getting it. So check it in 25 minutes. It's now at 333. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. So he can chunk Nami out by quite a bit, fighting under tower. She obviously can't damage him enough, but she might be able to lock him up under turret to do some damage. So he, again, is just farming, pushing. He doesn't have a Zerat. He's going more for damage. Or at least more kind of conventional build. Speed it up. So again, the theme of the game is top lane split push. We still have not been able to get this tower. I don't know if we ever get this tower, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So let's follow Twitch around for a bit. He's going to be our most consistent damage late game. So he's just carving up these waves. Again, Nasus is top. I feel conflicted because I'm really the only person that can kind of tank him for a little bit, but as you can see, even that doesn't work. So we send Syndra, try to lock him up. I've got my ultimate going, I'm averting all the damage. Look how low he gets. But his passive, his Qs, keep on doing damage. Plus Sona comes in with this nice little heal, turning things around. He gets to kill me. So he basically just 1v2'd us. Twitch came in at the last minute, Sona was coming in then, so it wasn't really a 1v2, but it was essentially what happened. So we tried 1v1, didn't work. We tried 2v1, didn't work. So we're gonna have to figure something out. So again, what are the ways to deal with a split pusher? You can 1v1, you can push where they're not. For instance, if Nasus just wasn't effective top lane and kept staying top lane, we could just say, all right, well, screw it. We're going to push straight down mid. And if he can't get anything done, then he's useless. However, because he can get things done, because he's 5-1 and 2, he is very effective. And he's drawing all sorts of pressure. He's pushing down. He's got the inhib already. He's eventually going to get, I believe, 1 Nexus turret, maybe 2. And we don't really, at this point, know how to deal with that. So Twitch got some kills, that's good. Twitch is very strong. Eventually Yasuo cleans up, that's not good. And so I'm kind of left in this terrible position of facing down a behemoth with a couple of tank items. Now I'm decently tanky. I have a good chunk of armor, some MR, but this is not, I'm not going to be able to stop him in any way, shape, or form. So I just have to delay. If I can get the towers to shoot him and then keep him stuck there, I can kill him. But he's not going to let that happen. So I'm just waiting till the damage shows up. So Syndra comes in, she's got good damage. I managed to escape away with my passive. So she's got the damage to kind of cut through him. But it takes a lot. So let's speed it up again. So split pushing, constant pressure. Now what I eventually do is get a Zerat portal to kind of push back against the push from Nasus. This is a bit of a sneaky play here. So she pops out and says hello, and Syndra just pushes her nope button, and that's that. Let's speed it up. So what we're trying to do is essentially pig pile on Nasus whenever he shows up, and then regroup from there. And what the enemy team has been doing up until now is saying, okay, if you want to pig pile on Nasus, we'll push elsewhere. And so that's what they've been doing. They've got 2 inhibitors, almost a third. We managed to get 2 quick picks here, which is super important. So that's 2 of them dead. But again, even with this happening, Nasus can still push, teleport in. And what happens is I go B to help push. Twitch goes B. And so these guys are just left dangling in the wind. And that's a terrible, terrible thing because they just get cleaned up very quickly. So again, we hold off Nasus, but it took 3 of us. And so when we collapsed, the rest of our team just got pooped on. So this is the power of split push. If you're not coordinated, if you don't know what to do and where to go and all that stuff, then it can go south very quickly. So let's take stock again. 33 minutes, Nasus's Q is at 474. So we send 3 to go after 2. I try to protect the Twitch as best I can. He stays alive, doing damage, but eventually falls. And us 2, as a tank and support, we can't touch him. I try to knock him back, try to root him. She knocks him up, but still, he's doing a lot of damage with his Spirit Fire. So she ends up getting away. Syndra again does have good damage, so she comes in and we can bonk her. But in the meantime, because we had to send so many people up to deal with Nasus, they just clean up. So this is the fundamental kind of dilemma of a strong split pusher. Is she's like, okay, well we can't kill him 1v1, so we have to try 1v2 or 1v3. And the enemy team says, okay, well you're 1v3 in the top lane, so that means we're 4v2 elsewhere, so we're just going to clean up. And they have been. Now the problem with this, or at least a problem eventually, kind of a first world problem, is you're saying, okay, well let's say we got all the inhibs. Now the split pusher can only split one spot. All of a sudden, that the distance between the lanes shrinks very rapidly. And all of a sudden, it's all in one spot. So if he wants to split push, that's fine. He can push down top, but he's going to end up right here. If the enemy team wants to push where we're not, that's fine. But they're going to end up right here. And so all of a sudden, if it's 3v1 up here and 2v4 down here, that distance is not anywhere near as big as it used to be. So it can get tricky to kind of transition from a split push into a sort of end game win. So this is another important moment. So I see him on this board. So I spam pings for my team. Quick, let's kill him. Quick, let's kill him. So what do? We send literally everybody. We CC him, we knock him up, we ultimate him, and we kill him. So now, their split push threat is gone. So what does that mean? That means that we know they have no other teleports. We know that they cannot, do anything sneaky. And we know we have 5 people and they have 4. So we're going to use that to try to push up mid. So we've got, 35 seconds where Nasus is still dead. Air comes in, I zone off their damage. Twitch is dealing damage, dealing damage. He stays alive. He's still fighting, still doing damage. And this becomes the key thing. If we can keep Thresh alive, we can win. If we can't, we will not do anything. But we managed to keep him alive, and he kills everybody. So we knew that Nasus was dead. We pushed with an advantage in numbers, and we took a team fight, and we still almost lost that team fight. But here we are. So now, again, Nasus is up. We're all low. He's fed, so I just keep spamming them to go back. So let's take stock. So the split pusher, we collapsed on him. We brought numerical advantage. And then once we had that, they were not able to translate that temporary numbers advantage into anything concrete. And then we took our numbers advantage and we got a tower. And we took another kill, or another couple kills. So that's one way to deal with split pushing threat. So again, time check, 37 minutes. Nasus's Q does 507. And that's 507 damage plus 260. So that's, 750, call it, plus 110, 860. Almost 900 damage each time he hits with that ability. And that ability has a 2.2 second cooldown. It also has a bonus on it from the Iceborne Gauntlet. So this dude is lifting. This dude is lifting all the things. He's killing all the things. So this kind of cycle begins again. He wants to put pressure mid. We send a lot of people up there, and Eve goes where we're not. Now she's not a terrific split pusher, as in she's not the best at killing buildings. But again, we have to send more than one person to Nasus, so they strike where we're not. They're also getting Baron, which is very smart by them, because there's nothing we can do. I mean, we don't even know what's going on until now. So it's very smart by them. Now, by this point, I got a Zerat portal. That allows me to spawn, essentially, another kind of wave of minions, which helps push it back. Now, it's not going to counter-push an entire champion, but it's going to help. But Nasus is so strong right now that he can just do whatever he wants whenever he wants. So, here we are again. We're left with a decision. Now, what should they do? Well, they should leave him alone and just push elsewhere. Sona's off split pushing, I guess. Ash just went and backed. Eve is wandering around being sneaky. Yasuo was top. Nasus is getting killed by our whole team. And they are not in a position right now to kind of take advantage. Eve pops up. She's going to punch the inhibitor a couple times, take some damage. But again, now that we have a numbers advantage, and we're all in the same general spot, we can do stuff. And then Syndra gets another pick, so now we have 2 people up. Okay, so now what do we have to do? Well, we can. This is kind of stalemated itself, so we're going to try to go down here. We probably, well, we needed to address this wave, so it's good that we went down here anyway. Yasuo is going to go up here, start stabbing the inhibitor. He can't kill me, at least not quickly. So again, my job is to just stall the enemy team, stall their damage, stall their people. So Nasus will be up soon, but we've used this to stabilize, more or less. Mid's now meeting in a neutral spot. I'm going to use this to push out this part here, and they're back to split pushing. Now Nasus is not up. Oh, Nasus is here, I'm sorry. But he's kind of with the team. And Twitch just does horrible, horrible things. So let's pause this. So they had an Nasus, very strong. What they should have done is put him alone somewhere. I'm up here. Neither of us are doing anything for anybody at this point in time, but I'm fine with that. He is, theoretically, one of their carries. He's supposed to do damage and, you know, kill things, kill structures. I'm supposed to just soak up damage. So if I can keep him occupied, that's fine. So let's back this up a little bit. So here we are. Nasus just died. Let's run it single speed here. And these guys are derping around in bottom lane. And we kind of chase them off. Ash is dead. Let's speed it up again. Got 20 seconds. Nasus goes up here. Wanders up top lane where we see that happening. And remember, we talked earlier about the importance of Twitch. If he can continue doing damage, we can win this game. If he cannot continue doing damage, we cannot win this game. So Nasus uses teleport to kind of back his team up, to go with his team, to stick in one spot with his team. So all that theme that they had of him drawing pressure away from his team is now not happening. So their biggest damage threat is with their team, so we naturally all go toward their team. And again, I should be with my team. This is a mistake on my part. But I know that the Yasuo is around here somewhere. So let's run it. So they get caught. They lose 2 people essentially for free. Twitch is full health. He's in the middle of his ultimate. He's doing a large amount of damage. And Nasus, who was the big threat, is now all of a sudden facing down both our carries and a support. So we'll see how this ends up. So he's exhausted, he's crowd controlled, he's knocked up, and Twitch just cuts him down. I'm just dinking around up here. I knew once Twitch took that initial fight, I was not needed there. So I decided, well, I'm just going to push. So Nasus, rather than drawing people away from his team, drew people to his team. And we ended up cleaning up. And again, Twitch was allowed to just do damage. And so that was that. So I think maybe we can try to kill Yasuo. Turns out he just goes back. But we don't know that. So we have to clean up the wave. These guys are pushing up mid. So Ashe decides to wander into their team, and she ends up dying, which is again a positional mistake on her part. So now, again, let's take stock. Nasus is dead for 20 seconds. Eve is dead for 10. Ashe just died. She's going to be out of the fight for essentially a minute. Sona is coming back to life soon, and we're all up. They trickled into this fight, got 2 deaths. Nasus kept going, gave him a 3rd. And then Ashe wandered in, and now here we are. So this is a kind of an outworking of some bad play to cap off a game where they did pretty well. The Nasus was an enormous threat, but we were able to stabilize. We were able to kind of let them make mistakes, and here we are. The game's not over, but we're doing a lot better. And again, we still have 3 inhibitors down. We have a Nexus turret. We haven't taken any of their inhibitors, so we'll have to see what we're able to do here. So pushing in. Lee's getting tanky. That's good. We need him to be tanky. Syndra's got a lot of damage. Twitch has an enormous amount of damage. And again, my role is to just keep Twitch alive. If I can keep Twitch alive, we can win. If I can't, we lose. So this gets a bit messy again. So again, Twitch is at the back, doing damage, doing damage, doing damage. Sona ults, essentially wasting it, because their damage wasn't near the fight. But we want to back up. Now she gets hurt with her knock-up. She flashes away, and we kind of, again, try to reset. Again, I'm just trying to keep them away. I got my root ready, I got my knock-up ready. So we just gotta keep Twitch alive. So we've got an inhibitor, which is super good for us. Now we've got pressure mid. Now they have to send someone to deal with that. Nasus is more than capable, but again, we're forcing them to react to us. Split pushing is super powerful because it makes your team, if the enemy team has a split pusher, to react to what they want to do. So we decide to get this Elder Drake. It takes a long time to do. He was just doing that. Nasus decides to YOLO into the Dragon Pit precisely too late, and then says, you know what, I shouldn't do this, and runs away. So now he's lost a good chunk of his kind of attractiveness as a split pusher. Eve wanders off top. Again, she did damage. She might have been able to get that, but it's not a lot. So Nasus is once again with his team. So he's going to draw all our attention to him. Remember, we can't 1v1 him. We probably can't 2v1 him unless we can kind of keep him locked down. So that's another time check. 42 minutes, 570. So it's slowing down a bit, but again, that will not stop accelerating. It might slow down, but as long as he's killing things, he's going to be getting stronger. So now he goes back top. So he's going to try to resume his split pushing. But so this is what we do. We said, you know what? We know he's top. We know he doesn't have his flash because we saw it. We know we have a temporary damage boost with Elder Dragon. So remember back to the beginning of the video, we talked about what do you do with a split pusher? You either kill him or you ignore him. And we decided at this point to say, you know what? We have the inhibitor dead. We have him top. We're strong. And we're pushing down mid. So now he has a response. Okay, do I keep pushing and kind of hope my team deals with this? Or do I fall back? And he decides to fall back. So they hit that explosive cone thingy. And I said, no, I'm tanky as balls at this point. So let's just fall down. So this is going to be the final fight of the game. So we've got two separate themes here. We've got the theme of the split pusher, who wants to draw attention away from his team. And we have our team, who is incredibly high damage at this point. Twitch is, I believe, 6 items. Yeah, he will not get stronger than this. And Syndra is 6 items. She will not get stronger than this. So they are kind of at the most strong they'll ever be. Nasus, as we mentioned, he's at 6 items, but his Q will continue to scale up and up and up and up and up. So split push worked for a while. We managed to stabilize. They made a couple key mistakes. Nasus got caught here. 3 of them got caught here. And now here we are. So this is going to be the final fight. So let's watch it play out. So again, all our attention is focused here. We have the Mark of the Elder Dragon for like a minute, maybe less. But that's what we're going to need. So we talked about Twitch. We talked about... There's a crit for you. We talked about Syndra. They're super strong. And if Twitch can ult, his attacks pierce through multiple people and they get a lot amount of range. So in other words, if they all lined up in a row, 5 in a row, and he ulted, he would hit all of them and do damage to all of them. That doesn't usually work that way with auto attacks. So let's slow this down. So Syndra is just doing her thing in front. Ashe shoots her arrow. Who does it hit? It hits Syndra. So I immediately turn back in. I know I just have to keep her alive. Yeah, so it goes in. Sona ults. She hits 2 people. Syndra gets out. Eve comes in from the flank. So let's break this down. So Sona ult's down. Ashe ult is down. I have my ult going. So I'm reducing all the damage to my team in this area. And I'm basically going to try to stick to protecting as much of my people as I can. That's, Nami here has a shield from Solari, which is big. So we're just going to try to absorb as much damage as we can. So Eve comes in, Yasuo Knockup comes in, so he's going to ult all our people. I'm going to move back toward my team. So he knocks up Syndra, he almost kills her. Twitch is just sitting here. Attacking, 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 attacking. Ashe is doing a little bit of damage. She's mostly hitting Nami. I'm here. I probably should be in this range, just soaking. But I want to protect my team. So, Eve dies. So now it's a 5v4. Nami is about to die, but her ult's down, so she's not much of a use. And again, Twitch is still attacking. So he's attacking, shooting shooting in a huge line. I'm trying to spam my abilities. Syndra makes a nice stun, gets them all locked up. I'm trying to spam my abilities as often as I can, just knock them up. Again, I want to keep Twitch auto attacking. And he does. Cleans it up. So what I want to do is, and he flashes forward, gets a triple kill, and that's game. I mean, they have 1 person left and she's going to die as well. So what I want to do is I want to go back and look at that fight with focus on Twitch. So there he goes. So he's got his ult ready, he's got his flash, he's got his heal. So let's keep him in mind. Is he able to do damage? I mean, we know the answer is yes, but let's watch. And we'll see why it's super important that he keeps auto attack. So basically they want to hit our carries. So Ashe ults in, it's a good ult. It hits Syndra, that's exactly what she wants. I ult immediately, Sona ults again, she hits them, that's exactly what she wants. But the question becomes, can they do enough damage to kill off our damage dealers before the damage dealers on our team wipe out the health bars? For Twitch, again, watch Twitch. He's just sitting in one spot. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. Sit in one spot and auto attack over and over and over and over and over. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this team fight, but the only thing that mattered was Twitch. So watch this again. And this is almost belaboring the point, but it's super important. So watch him. Watch how many times he has to move. He's just sitting in one spot, sitting in one spot. And that's the game. So let's talk about so we talked about earlier about the super important and super powerful split push they had, drawing our attention away. We talked about how we had good damage, but we didn't have a way to engage on them. So we needed them to engage on us and then to collapse. So their split push ended up petering out. They couldn't figure out a way to get this last turret down. And we figured out a way to keep killing the Nasus. And they made a couple key mistakes here with Nasus dying, there with them trickling in, and we ended up winning. So this has been not the highest level play, but it was an instructive example of the strengths and weaknesses of a split push. When it works, when it draws attention away from their team, that's great. When it doesn't work, and when it doesn't draw attention away from their team, it's almost a non-issue. Nasus was strong, but as long as we can kind of coordinate our team together and to get all this damage and crowd control kind of working together into one unit, then we can win. We were able to do that, so we won. It was a messy game, it was a long game, about 45 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something from that. It was a stressful game for me. I did not play particularly well. We won in the end, and I think we deserved to win in the end. But I think a lot of the reason the game ended the way it did is those key mistakes. Nasus dying here, us pushing, and then 3 of them dying here and us getting an inhib. And from there, Nasus was not able to exert any more pressure. And because he wasn't able to exert any more pressure, we were able to kind of focus on keeping Twitch alive. And Twitch was doing somewhere in the neighborhood of a bajillion damage, especially when ulted. He also had a Guardian Angel, so theoretically he could have been doing more damage, but he decided to trade off a little bit of damage for an extra attempt. Turns out he didn't need it, an extra life rather. So we were able to keep him alive and keep them off of him. And we saw in that fight, he moved from here to there and just basically just sat here doing damage for a good 5-10 seconds, and that was enough. Split pushing can be fun. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys are entertained. If you like what I'm doing, please like the video, please subscribe. Plenty more videos to come, but I thought this was interesting and fun. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.